What's going on, NFL fans, and particularly those following the Cleveland Browns? While the Browns have been relatively quiet this offseason in terms of major player acquisitions outside of the NFL draft, largely due to their cap situation, there's always time for moves before the season kicks off. And Brent Zableski of Bleacher Report has cooked up a pretty bold three-team trade proposal that involves the Browns, the Miami Dolphins, and the Chicago Bears, with star cornerback Jalen Ramsey at the center of it all. So, how would this hypothetical three-team deal break down according to Zableski's proposal? The Cleveland Browns would receive offensive tackle Braxton Jones from the Chicago Bears, send out cornerback Greg Newsome II. The Chicago Bears would receive superstar cornerback Jalen Ramsey from the Miami Dolphins, send out offensive tackle Braxton Jones to the Cleveland Browns. The article implies Greg Newsome II would likely head to Chicago as part of their acquisition of Jones, and then the Bears would use other assets, potentially including Newsome or picks, to acquire Ramsey from Miami. The Miami Dolphins would send out cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Chicago Bears, receive. The article doesn't specify exactly what Miami would get from Chicago in this particular proposal, but it would be assets in exchange for Ramsey, allowing him to move his contract. Let's focus on the Brown side of this proposed deal. Zableski writes, meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns hope DeJuan Jones bounces back after a disappointing sophomore season. Either he remains committed and finds a spot at left tackle. Braxton Jones can then kick inside a guard and eventually replace Joe Bitonio or Wyatt Teller, or the Browns' projected starting left tackle is replaced by a more proven version. Braxton Jones is heading into his fourth season and has been a full-time starter for the Bears since his rookie year. He had a very strong 2024, earning an impressive 80.8 pass blocking grade from Pro Football Focus. At just 26 years old, Braxton Jones could potentially become the Browns' starting left tackle, especially if DeJuan Jones struggles with consistency or health. It's worth noting the article mentions DeJuan Jones had a major disappointment in 2024 after a strong rookie year. As for Greg Newsome II, the young cornerback has been the subject of trade speculation for over a year now, with a former first-round pick entering the final year of his rookie contract. It's logical that Cleveland might consider trading him. The article concludes that if the Browns could indeed acquire Braxton Jones in exchange for Newsome, it's a move they should definitely make. It would address a key position on the offensive line with a proven young player. So, while Jalen Ramsey is the big name driving this three-team proposal, the direct impact for the Browns would be a significant upgrade to their offensive line by swapping a cornerback on an expiring deal for a starting caliber left tackle. What do you think, Browns fans? Would you make this trade? Is Braxton Jones for Greg Newsome II a good deal, with Ramsey moving Chicago as part of the bigger picture? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What's up, NFL fans? And especially those who've been following the never-ending Miami Dolphins trade rumor saga. It feels like we can't go a week without a new proposal for where the Dolphins stars might end up. And honestly, as the article points out, it's not fun at all. The piece highlights the unfortunate reality for Miami. When you invest heavily in aging superstars and still miss the playoffs, with quarterback injuries not helping, of course, the decisions made by the front office, like those by Chris Greer, start to come under intense scrutiny. This leads to a summer filled with speculation about the best trade destinations for players like Jalen Ramsey and, yes, Tyreek Hill. Well, Bleacher Report has thrown another log on the fire with a new blockbuster trade simulation for Hill, sending him to a team that, as the article humorously notes, we haven't heard much from in about 3 decades in terms of major, splashy moves like this. So, could the Dolphins trade Tyreek Hill to the Arizona Cardinals? Here's how this proposed three-team trade would break down. The Miami Dolphins would receive edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau from the New York Giants. The Arizona Cardinals would receive superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill from the Miami Dolphins. The New York Giants would receive offensive lineman Jonah Williams. The article doesn't specify his original team in this particular snippet, but he'd be moving to the Giants as part of this three-way shuffle. Let's focus on the Cardinals' angle first. Brent Zableski of Bleacher Report writes, Tyreek Hill's decision to remain with the Miami Dolphins or be traded can change at any moment. To maximize quarterback Kyler Murray's capabilities, the tandem of Hill and Marvin Harrison Jr. is a nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon previously served in that role and understands how Hill's speed tilts the field in the offense's favor. Despite any attitude, age, or money concerns, the 8-time Pro Bowler can make the Cardinals better. The Cardinals, as the article puts it, what a pull! And it even makes a certain kind of sense, with the author joking that Arizona has a history of letting stars play out their final years in relative anonymity, and that Hill was always destined to be an Arizona Cardinal at some point. A bit of a self-deprecating jab from the article writer for not seeing it sooner. Now, what about the Dolphins' return in this scenario? Getting edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau in Miami would be, as the article states, electric. It suggests that move alone could warrant its own discussion. So, while the constant trade talk around Miami stars is exhausting for many, this proposal certainly offers a surprising new team for Tyreek Hill and an intriguing return for the Dolphins. What do you think of this trade idea? Hill to the Cardinals to team up with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.? Kayvon Thibodeau to the Dolphins? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.